Hello, and welcome to All We Do Is Reshuffle the Cabinet because everyone's getting new jobs. And I'm Tom Elwes, and as ever, I'm joined by your co-host, Miss Ali Woods. Hey guys, hey listeners, how's it going? we good? We enjoying ourselves? How are you, Tom? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I ripped my jeans the other day because I squatted for the first time in my life. And yeah, so anyway, like apparently you're supposed to do it to get like calves. This is what my girlfriend said. So anyway, I did that, and so I've had to go down to River Island all day, and like it's just a mess. Like it's frantic. Okay, cool. So Tom, it's a pleasure to chat with you as always. But I'm gonna say that you're not really here, are you? What? No. What? No, you're not. Tom's not here, ladies and gentlemen. I know people watching on the YouTube will have looked at all that and gone, I think he's having a breakdown again. But no, this is, for the audio listeners, Tom is unfortunately not with us. He is dead to me. He has gone, instead of recording this podcast like a diligent podcaster, and you guys know as much as I do, that we haven't got a lot of USPs or positives about this podcast, but what we are good at is doing it every week. Tom has decided, get this, he's going to go on holiday with his partner. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. You're right to swear at him. So he's not here, but thankfully, I'm not alone. I've actually managed to upgrade the podcast co-host, and my name is Ali Woods. I'm joined today, as had before, and thankfully again, our co-host for today, Miss Alexandra Haddow.
Hello.
How are you doing, Alex? You all right?
I feel so nice to be described as an upgrade to Tom Elwes.
It's not that hard. It's a low bar.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a partner, he's on holiday, and I'm in a container with you.
Yeah. We didn't have to add with you at the end. I thought that was going to be...
This is actually my annual leave. This is my holiday.
This is podcast. We've come to Alex's resort here. Got wonderful blue curtains, a container ship. You weren't here when they had the fire test. The fire marshal came here. And you can look around this container. And look, as far as containers go, I don't know what a normal container safety standards are. This one's got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
And this guy, and he looked really like a fire marshal. And he came in like a sort of white shirt, tucked in trousers. And he came in and just looked around and was just like, okay.
It's a death trap.
Yeah. And then sort of left. And we were like, fuck, this place is not. And we started laughing because we were like, this is nowhere. He just came in, excuse me, guys. So there's a fire downstairs. What are you doing? And we went, dying? He was like, yes.
That's correct. Throw yourself out and hope for the best.
But this is your hobby. So if you don't know Alex Haddow, where are you firstly? If you're on Twitter, get to following right now. Get out your phone because she is hilarious. Not in real life, unfortunately, but on Twitter... Yeah. Absolutely top banter.
Yeah, absolutely. Online.
Online.
Fine.
And it's because it's not Alexandra Haddow, it's
Miss A. Haddow, which is not really my brand, but Alex Haddow is a footballer that plays for Reading, so I couldn't have that.
And we couldn't get her on. That's who I thought we were. That's who I thought I was getting on.
Yeah.
Him on. Okay, Alexandra. Okay. So Miss A. Haddow is who you want to follow.
Miss A. Haddow is who you want
Twitter.
to follow if you like rants about Greggs and the Tories.
That's it. There's two. And by Greg, she doesn't mean the chain Greggs. She exclusively dates guys named Greg. So
awful business.
Yeah. So what's been cracking in your life, Alex? How are you doing? Thanks very much for coming down.
No, thank you for having me. I was like, oh, I haven't got much to talk about. And then on the way down here, I was like, I've got loads to talk about. So strap in. No. Actually, what happened was I went out till very late last night and I woke up.
Legends! I know a legend when I see one. You are already filling in the Tom role. Normally what happens when I ask about Tom's life, he was like, yeah, I was in Vodka Revs with loads of cool people. What were you doing? I was like, actually inside revising my set for tomorrow. But
Vodka Revs.
Yeah, Vodka Revs. Vodka Revs, because like Tiger was closing early for some reason. I don't know, it was like private event.
Lives in a perpetual Freshers week, I feel. Yeah. And then I slept through my alarm, and then a guy rang the doorbell, and it was an electrician coming to check on all my plug sockets, not an innuendo.
If you know what I mean. And anyway, let's say I hadn't got up, but he was up, and then, okay.
Sparks flew, etc.
Yay!
And basically, the last time he came round, I recognised him. He was so much fun. We got on really well last time he came round, and we were having a bit of a laugh. And this was in the pandemic because the only person I'd spoken to is my housemate Jess, who was lovely.
Yeah.
But we'd only spoken to each other for 2 months.
Yeah.
This guy came round to check something, and we were having a right laugh. He was called Beres. He's a lovely man.
Beres?
If anyone is serviced by him. Anyway.
Many other lucky ladies are there and served by Beres, then you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And but last time he came round, it was awful because something was wrong last time, and he had to check. He had to check and like test if all the plug sockets were working to check out where the problem was. And the night before, I had been filming a sketch for a comedian called Preet Singh, who you both probably know.
Yeah.
Some people listening might know. And in the sketch, I had to have
Put your finger in a plug. I don't know.
Well, I wish it was that.
Okay.
I had a giant pink dildo in the sketch.
Oh, in
Okay.
the sketch, is it? Yeah.
In the
okay.
sketch. I mean, I did own it, but I didn't actually like it.
How
It
did
wasn't.
you get picked for this? Okay,
it
cool.
wasn't
Okay.
on the roster of ones that I
right.
actually used. So I thought.
How did that work? Did he ask, "Have you got a dildo first?" and then was like, "Do you want to do a sketch?" Or did he say,
No, it was basically.
"I'm sending you a dildo. Can you do a sketch for me?" Invoice
ad-libbed.
me.
Yeah,
Right,
I
okay.
ad-libbed with the deal because the character I was playing, it's on my Instagram, but I can't remember what it was now. But it was basically like as if I was waiting for a Zoom call, so I was just sort of like tapping my head with it as if it was just.
Right. Yeah. Like
was
a
hilarious,
pencil.
Sally.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. It
hilarious.
sounds good. Yeah.
And anyway, and it was honestly like luminous pink, giant thing. And I just put it on my on my desk in my room because I'd been filming the sketch that night.
Yeah.
And this guy
Oh,
was
yeah.
around first thing in the morning. And he was like, okay, and we were having a laugh and all this and chatting. And as he's going up the stairs, Jess starts laughing and she's already twigged what's happened.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, I was like, oh my God, he's going to walk as he was walking in. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't know whether he'd seen it or not.
Yeah.
So I did the thing where I was like, just own it. So I just like picked it up and I was like, oh, sorry about this. I was filming a sketch last night. It was actually about a comedian. And he just burst out laughing and he was cracking up. And then he like the whole rest of the time he was like, oh, like what else am I going to find in here? And I was like, no, but seriously, don't go in there. And then we were having a massive laugh
You
about
put it in
it.
his face then? You put it in his... You
I
write
sort of
his-
like brandished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he
and I-
say... Sketch? I'm actually a comedian. He was like,
Yeah.
that's the least believable thing
I
you've
know,
said.
honestly, because I hadn't mentioned that. It sounded like I was making it up. Anyway, he came to my door
I was just
today.
sorry. I wasn't using this dildo just for me. I was filming me using it. Sorry. Much less embarrassing
Lockdown
now.
has been tough.
Yes, it's for my work. I was filming me with the dildo for work. Apologies. Anyway.
Normal.
Yeah.
And he came around again today and he was like, all right, babe, I'm here to do all this. And I was like, oh my God, do you remember last year when you walked into my room? And he went, I've never forgotten that and I never will. And I was like, oh my God. And he
Anyway,
went,
I've actually got a little present for you. I've got a little gift.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want me to go and get you a drink? Like, do you want anything? We're having a laugh again. And then I was almost locked out, but I wasn't. And anyway, I came back and he's left me his number
Oh, yes.
on my stairs. So
Very nice.
I've got a new boyf.
Oh, okay. Well, and what
yeah.
did he say on the... I mean, is it
Hi,
romantic?
Alex. Would you mind calling me Ari the Test?
Oh,
Please.
Oh, so he's giving you his number because he's trying to do a good job.
Ali? No, he fancies me.
He's only got to give me his number, the electrician. Get this, right? How sexy is this? He said, call me to give me the results of the test.
Usually it's someone else.
Usually it's, yeah,
Call me
usually
about
it's
the results
someone
of the
who's
test.
saying, and then block my number, actually. I don't want to hear from that. Oh, that's lovely that you, you know, you're chatting with Berry.
No, I mean-
a potential love interest.
I don't think
there.
it's a potential love interest,
Okay.
but I think we should be friends. And I think I'm going to get him to come
You're
to the gig.
friend zoning the dildo electrician.
The dildo electrician.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
How are you?
Well, you know what? Listeners will know that first time someone has ever asked me that on this podcast because
Aw, that's nice.
Tom normally doesn't like the pleasantries. I once asked him, "How you been?" and he went, "With what?" That was his. He just doesn't. Yeah. So I've been all right.
Ah, that's nice.
I've been not too bad. Felt a bit sluggish, but I've been doing some gigs. I done some videos for a dating app.
Oh, are you allowed to say which one?
I don't want to give them any more publicity unless they pay
Is
me.
it a shaggy one or a datey one?
It's a datey one.
Oh, okay.
They don't get me one for the Scooby-Doo ones, but it's
I know which one it is instantly.
go on.
Well, it's one of two.
Okay,
It's either Bumble or Hinge.
it's neither of those.
Oh.
I don't get on that mainstream hype. How dare you? This is one.
Oh, I wrote some billboards for Bumble. It was the most fun job.
You
ever.
wrote some billboards. You were on
Yeah.
some billboards.
I
All
wrote,
right.
I wrote some
okay,
billboards.
okay.
I wrote some slogans for
Oh,
Bumble.
that was okay, very nice.
Yeah.
No, so I've done a couple of those. I did a gig in Cambridge, which the Patreon listeners will know about. I did,
Oh.
a gig at a festival, Cambridge Club Festival. Thank you very much for having me.
What type of
got
festival was it? Comedy or?
Posh.
Oh, a posh.
It was
one.
music, yeah, but it was a posh.
Was there nice food instead of just hot dogs and burgers?
There was all right food. I had a duck roll. I gotta say it was underwhelming, and I hate
duck
to.
roll?
Yeah, I know with cucumbers and hoisin, but it was underwhelming.
The comedy stage was like over in the corner behind some trees, but the noise, the nosebleed was so big. I was just getting heckled by, and you know who was on at the time I was on? The NHS choir.
Oh my God.
On the main stage. I was like, I haven't had enough applause.
Did you get to go backstage with them and they were just like absolutely...
They were there doing crack. Yeah. They were, all the syringes from the hospital they had. Oh my God.
I love your knowledge of drugs that they were doing crack.
They were doing crack and cocaine. Sorry, Liz. If you watch on the YouTube, there's some hilarious physical
doing
comedy.
Some weed?
Yeah, doing some... They were... They were smoking heroin, but they weren't. But no, they were doing all that. But no backstage for me. And then went to a house party where I'm pretty cool. And but it was the hosts hosting it. At one point, they were all having their own dramas, so there was no one.
I miss house parties so much.
Yeah, it was. And
the dramas that.
Yeah. Like one was throwing up.
Off with.
Yeah, exactly, all that sort of stuff. One was throwing up, one had brought their new boyfriend, so that was causing the other one, whose birthday it was, like, why are you bringing this guy to, like, I don't know this guy.
It's a house party, you're allowed to bring someone you just met on the street.
Well, that's how you get your people to come to your house party, isn't it? You sort of walk around.
Look, me and Ben used to be going.
Like, there's just a load of servicemen and homeless people and addicts, and you're like,
I like a tradesman.
Yeah, well, fair play. But yeah, otherwise it's sort of been fine. So the big issue, and I will tell the listeners this because I feel like we're close, and I was asking you before.
Yeah.
The big issue on my mind is I've been invited tomorrow to go to a sex party.
I know, I'm so excited for you.
I still don't know whether...
100% you should go. You're not going to be on your deathbed saying, thank God I didn't go to that sex party.
Maybe I will.
I mean, you might be on your deathbed sooner if you do go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be on deathbed next week, being like, why did I go to that sex party?
Spread.
And there's Beres there with a big dildo, just vibing, just being like, you know, I saw Alex on your podcast. I'd just be like, not really into her, to be honest, but here I am at a sex party, here we go.
Just called her about a song.
Yeah, just called me.
Answer the door in her underwear.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 12 missed calls tonight from Alex. Okay, now, the thing is, I know that's not an electrical emergency. I know that's not. So all the gang will be there. But what do you think? Just give me your honest opinion. So you think yes?
I think absolutely yes. I have never been to one. My friend goes to a lot of them. I'm thinking about going to one just to go. Why not? I think it's an experience.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you can leave.
What if everyone laughs at me? What if I get there?
Well, that's your dream.
What if I get there?
That's literally your life's work. People laughing at you.
Yeah, but what if it's the biggest laugh I've ever had was me getting my cock out? What's that? At the...
We take the win.
You says close on it. I'll start closing on it.
You know, like there's no such thing as bad publicity. There's no such thing as a bad laugh.
Yeah, well, we'll see. What if I get there and everyone's like, look at this guy. What is he doing
Right,
here?
the thing is, go simple, go classic, stay under the radar,
morph
have a
suit.
few drinks. Yeah, morph suit.
I'll go like Kim K. Yeah.
Yeah, do that because it's kinky, but also,
yeah, it's.
Although
good.
when you get, you know,
what's that? What does that mean?
That's you getting a hard on.
This is hard on for 4 fingers wide.
Like a cat flap.
Like a cat flap. Yeah, and sort of like floppily just going back down immediately
if you're
afterwards.
In the morph suit, it might be a bit like if you're trying to chat someone up and you're rock solid, just like
just pointing, and they're like, "Sorry, are you trying to talk to someone else?" No, I'm trying to point it at you. I'm pointing it at. This is the.
It's for you.
Yeah. At this point, let's get in our producer. Producer Mooch is no more. Producer Mooch, he hadn't been on the podcast for months. Within 2 minutes, 9/11 joke. Within 2 minutes, I'm not even joking. Yeah. So we're back with Vittoria Angeloni, everyone. Vittoria, how are you doing? You all right?
I'm doing all right. I'm pretty hungover today.
You're hungover.
So am I.
Everyone's been out partying with their electricians. But Vittoria was, I was going to say, Vittoria was live at the Apollo last night, but
he wasn't
watching
yeah,
the show.
Watching the show, but which is cool, which we had some friends on and some enemies. I'll let you decide when the next series comes out. Vittoria, what do you think on this sex party thing as a third point of call here?
I don't, you're right in that you're not going to look back when you're 80 and be like, I wish I hadn't. It is a bucket list thing. And I think everyone will be so involved in their own stuff.
100%.
Like
It's a good point.
it's a microcosm of that thing of like no one's thinking about you, particularly at a sex party.
Yeah.
The comedian's going to be like, obviously when I walk in, everyone's going to want a piece or they're going to laugh at me. It's like I couldn't even fathom that actually I might go and just stand in the corner and just chat
This
to a
is
couple of
where
people.
to be a wallflower,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, a horny wallflower.
Also, I think you've got the vibe of the party wrong if you're walking in with your cock out.
That's how I normally walk into parties. That's why there was so much drama at that party I was telling you about on
exactly.
Saturday.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Well, what happens?
What do you mean? when I flash? Nothing. That's the embarrassing thing. No one even notices.
Like, do you walk in fully clothed?
Yeah, you walk in fully clothed, I think. I mean, I don't know. I've not been.
None of us know.
And you just, you have a little chat, have a little dance, make a little love, get down.
So it's like a
Thank you,
normal
Aunt
party.
Alex.
Yeah.
But there's a
then you can-
expectation of.
Well,
Let me read out.
no,
Let me read
no.
out the.
There's
the
not even an
description.
expectation. It's very much like
just open
do
to that.
what you want. If you like, it's basically a party where if you want to have sex at it, you can.
Do what you want. What you want.
But there's different. Some of them have different rooms. So like some of them, Ali, the room will be like you can't have sex in. So you just stay in there, babe.
Okay.
You just have a wank and get
Stay in
drunk.
the
just jack you.
You
I
say in
can
the
jack
soft
off at
play.
home.
You stay in the soft play area.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, in the sex crash.
The ball pit.
Yeah, where they're sort of playing. They're playing some softcore porn of people kissing. And I'm there going,
Yuck.
And you're like, I can't come unless they're in love.
Yeah. So if you're interested in what happens, what you're told here, they start with expect the usual, which sounds
Oh.
like. I mean, you'd actually come for the unusual. I'd have thought
Yeah.
expect the usual. Your mate Dan having a pint, chatting about the girl he's broke up with. Anyway, so expect the usual. Stunning music across 2 rooms with a divine all-female lineup in the main room.
Ooh.
I'm not quite
You might see
sure.
some boobs.
Shut up, Alex. God. I got cut out now.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
One
I like
move.
most laddie comment we've ever had is with Alex. Might see some tits, mate. Yeah? Think about that. So that's a yes. A glorious pantheon of performers and interactives.
Lager, lager, lager.
Yeah, exactly. They might have Monday Night Football on repeat. You can watch that.
You got any Fosters?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I come with a 12-pack of Stella. I'm like, what for? This is a party. Secret spaces to explore and rouse your senses
There you
and
go.
sensuality.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be little rooms that you can go and get a handy in if you
This is Alex where she chats to her electrician about, no, I'm having a party. No, it's going to be good. Yeah, there's going to be little rooms. Get a handy if you want.
you on.
Where we go. Stunning decor and atmosphere, and even more stunning crowd, warm and welcoming, and mountains of sinful love.
Ooh, I'm in. Can I come with you? That'd be weird.
Well, that would be. I mean, you could if you want
if
to.
we saw each other at a gig after I've seen you getting.
I've seen you humiliate yourself on stage plenty of times. This will be absolutely fun. Yeah, if you see me absolutely just getting pegged at this sinful, stunning.
Look, babes, it's
No.
not going to be a tight 5 from me. I'm
I'm giving you the light at 9. Gotta finish. Just give me. I've started this bit, so I've got to get a few extra minutes. So Vittorio's largely a no, and you're largely a yes.
Definitely.
Neither are. Okay,
Yeah.
you're definitely yes. Okay, fine. Well, look.
If you
next
hate
week.
it, leave.
Next week we will.
I know. I want to come back for the review.
When you come back next week and be like, Friday night I went to Vodka Refs with Tom and got a double, so it's pretty large.
I went to town. On town.
Yeah. So that will be potentially one for the listeners next week. But as of this week, we're going to move on to the news. And we've got plenty of news, an actual packed news story. We'll start with something fairly light, though. And because you are, Alex, probably the most fashionable person we've ever had on this podcast.
Babes.
Yeah. Sorry, Vittorio. But
Yeah. That says more about your podcast.
yeah, that says about sort of shabbily dressed straight men just honking around,
Well,
being like,
hang on.
these jeans aren't that tight. So that's yes, good.
My lovely 70s shades that are so pointless.
But they
Hang
look
on,
cool though.
Can't get them on the.
This is good. It's good podcasting, by the way, guys. This, yeah, a costume change for the podcast. That's it's great experience.
That's how committed I am.
Yeah. It's great listening. The way you put on the sunglasses on the audio.
Honestly, my smile at the moment is just popping.
So the Met Gala has happened this week. Now,
I love
I assume it didn't happen last year, so that's
they
why
had a year off.
Yes, there's a huge buzz around this. All the big names were there in America. The theme was America. And if you don't know what the Met Gala is, I don't really know what the Met Gala is, but it's a big fashion basically party.
It's kind of the fashion
35K.
Oscars.
Yeah.
So it's at the Met in New York, and there is an exhibition which no one ever sees or cares about. That they actually go. So Alexandra Haddow had an exhibition one year. You know, one was punk, and it's amazing. The actual exhibition is cool as well. There's no photos allowed in there, so you actually enjoy the exhibition. And it used to be a thing years ago, and then Anna Wintour, who's the US editor of Vogue, who's a massive name with the bob and the shades. You must have seen her.
Yeah.
She
was in The Incredibles. She was in The Incredibles.
Yeah. She actually does look like Edna Mode. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But she is very much Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah. That's who it was based on.
Yeah.
And she kind of brought it back as a sort of massive thing in the fashion calendar. And I just love it because it's an excuse for everybody to go batshit with fashion. Why not?
That's what you'd love to have.
I'd love it. I'd love to go to the Met Gala.
At your party, you in all black with berries.
Yes, I would, honestly. Yeah. Like, if I have a house party. I mean, I did a costume change at my own Halloween party. You were there. No one cared. I was in, like, black fishnets and a whole fishnet thing by the end. Literally no one gave a shit.
Came out again.
Yeah.
Was like, oh,
I had a different wig on. No.
Yeah. You're right, Alice.
Yeah. Genuinely, yeah.
So what do you make of the Met Gala then? You're a fan, and what did you think of the clothes? Specifically, we're talking Cara Delevingne, Peg the Patriarchy, and we're talking AOC, Tax the Rich. What did you make of these?
That's actually a very good comparison, because I think AOC...
Thank you.
Yeah, AOC with Tax the Rich. Bless her. Somebody said this comment and it stuck in my head. They're like, politicians are dorky. And they're not there to be like sexy or whatever, even though she's very attractive and very sexy.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I just see personality.
Yeah,
I've not met her.
Of course,
so.
you don't see attractiveness.
No,
I've seen you pull, actually. You don't.
Roasted. And I'm just happy you see me pull. So. So at her party, I got him with someone. It was supposed to be the creature from the.
She saw it and everything, so it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I did.
No,
so...
she goes to a different school though, so she won't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she came to the party. She was there for like 10 minutes. So AOC.
I loved that because the actual dress and the way that it was written on wasn't great. Like sartorially, no, but I loved the fact that she went to that event and just said tax the rich in America, especially, which is in my opinion like a third world country in terms of the way they treat people and you have to pay for everything. Anyway, that's a different issue. But Cara Delevingne...
Enough of the politics, mate. If I can go back to the dresses. We got a bird on here. You get a bird on, you think they're going to want to talk about fashion. You give the opportunity, and they're suddenly like, oh, Texas and fuck it, mate. I would have got a bloke on if we were going to talk about that. But Cara Delevingne...
So I loved the sentiment of AOC. I thought it was brilliant.
Do you want to clear up what was the dress that she was wearing?
So
in
AOC
case
was
you've been
wearing
living
a
on a
white
rock.
fishtail dress with sort of on the back in red, which was sort of I think an ode to blood. She had Tax Rick, the bastard.
Rick Astley has been dodging.
He's been dodging it from that one song.
Did you see he's been singing
with Blossoms?
Yeah,
Morrissey tribute.
Morrissey.
8 people sent me that yesterday. I don't know if I've got a brand.
That's your 5. That's
8
your
people
5.
sent me the screenshot. That's
that's good. I mean, that's at least you've been typecast. At least people know.
Absolutely.
But you like the
yeah. No, I do. And I'll be going. So
she had it in blood
Rich on the back, and it was great. I thought it was great. And then Cara Delevingne, who I'm not a fan of, I used to be when she first came out, had a sort of weird like vest on that said "Peg the Patriarchy," and it was a bit like she'd sat down and be like, what can I provoke? Do you know what I mean? And loads of people pointed out on Twitter, and obviously Twitter is bad for sort of, dismembering anything fun or normal or nice, and pointing out why actually you shouldn't be enjoying it.
Yeah, anything with 1,000 retweets. We'll have 2,000 retweets being like, actually this is
problematic.
Yeah.
But loads of people were quite rightly saying...
I like both because I have no morals. I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, wherever girls I find attractive are liking, I'll just cover both corners with
You're
that
that
one.
guy in the fashion show sketch that just agrees with
I'm just there sort of jumping over the fence.
They're like, no, amazing, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, well, he has got, that's a point, that's a good point, actually, that's you. Loads of people were saying, what's wrong with pegging? So, essentially... It's
a famous question we ask every week on this podcast.
It was basically saying, like, peg the patriarchy, like, have sex with men? Like, what? I just thought, like, no.
It's that thing of penetration being some sort of like dominance or like humiliation for the other.
Yeah, as if it's like non-consensual and stuff. Anyway, so I just thought, but more than that, more than like deconstructing it, I just thought she just sort of sat down and got like a random word generator and be like, what can I do? I actually thought Kim Kardashian's.
Yeah, she was almost going to go there and shaft racism, and then
Yeah, absolutely. As if it's that thing of like, all right. Well,
retweet misogyny. It was another one. She was like, that doesn't work. Let's get another one. Go in. Click, 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 click.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, bum the pay gap. Come on.
Bum the pay gap. Bum the pay gap, guys. No, I know.
Hashtag
yes.
bum the pay gap.
Bum the pay gap. That's going to be that's what the title.
The title of this episode. Bum the pay gap.
Bum the pay gap with Alexandra Haddow. So you're not for Cara Delevingne,
No.
but AOC you thought was.
Yeah, because I think
largely
I
alright.
genuinely think she's absolutely brilliant. I watched a documentary about her, and I never watch documentaries because I'm a chav. No, I did watch. It was something Knock Down the House or Bring Down the House or something about her ascent to politics and the fact that she wasn't in it. She was working in a bar, and she just is kind of uncorruptible. That's what I like about her. She's not, like...
Yeah, but that documentary was paid for by the oil companies. You know that,
Yeah, obviously, yeah. 8 pelicans died so she could be on TV.
Yeah. They had to kill so many seals to get that footage.
She said, I'm not doing it unless the seal's dead.
She
I want to
eats-
see their blood.
She
and I'm gonna
eats
write
seals.
Yeah.
That's
She does, yeah. But you got to take the good with the bad.
But great dress.
Yeah, great dress.
Okay. And so Kanye, Kim, all black, everything.
It wasn't Kanye. It
But-
was
right.
Demna, who is the creative director of Balenciaga. I know too much.
Right, yeah, I just assumed it was
No.
sort of with the same sort of outline of Kanye. So.
Yeah, I think I actually
Just saw a black
kind of
guy. I was like,
that.
Kanye West, mate. You know what I mean? It's just. What did you think of Kanye being there twice in 2 different outfits?
This is where Hollywood gets cancelled.
I'll clip that up myself. Come for me. So anyway, what did you think of then Kim and this other bloke?
I actually thought, I thought it didn't look amazing, but we're all talking about it, and that's what she does best. I'm not a fan of the Kardashians. I don't follow them. I don't watch it, but you're talking about them. aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
And that's what people are saying about AOC. It's like tax the rich has been bandied around, whether
Yeah.
good or bad, but at least that
but you're talking about it.
phrase is getting
Yeah.
into public
The
lexicon.
rich absolutely will never be taxed, sure. But she said it now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rich getting away with stuff, there's been a cabinet reshuffle
Oh, I
in
thought
Parliament.
you were talking about Tom Elwes again.
Yeah, exactly. How does he keep getting away with this? Just having a lovely girlfriend in his time in Italy. Enjoy it while you can. So this is just a cryptic message for anyone who listens. And but the cabinet reshuffle, which is 2 of the sexiest words in the English language for me, cabinet reshuffle. I don't
Reshuffle
really
for me,
know.
daddy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. How about we do a fucking the position? Oh my god, we did so many positions last time. We did the cabinet reshuffle.
We did the cabinet reshuffle. It's where I'm not qualified to know what I'm doing. But
Yeah,
we'll just do it
exactly.
anyway.
Well, we move around every 6 months, and no one gets what they want. So yes.
It's a 69, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, how dare you? The 69 can be. I've got to learn these things for tomorrow night. Okay. I'll be
I
doing the
recently
cabinet
did
reshuffle.
A 69, where as I was getting into position, I kicked the guy in the.
You gave him that was just you getting back. Can't believe can you just fucking go down on me? Do I have to give you something as well all the time? Just go quick to the.
Oh, it really killed me.
It was like it turned from sex to a UFC fight. Basically, you were just changing position, getting some shots in, sort of getting him to tap out.
Jab.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just slowing him down. And this is where she really comes into her force. The groundwork, really. She knows she doesn't have the reach, but get her on the floor and she will pin him into submission. So yeah, look, I don't know much about this reshuffle. I really couldn't be asked. I mean, it's for the same thing. Gavin Williamson, the old education secretary who's had so much stick because of all the U-turns and the grades and all that stuff.
What's he doing
He's
now?
gone. He's gone. He's actually been sacked from
Right, but he's
resigned.
still an
He's
MP.
resigned from. He's still an MP. Yeah.
This is a bad thing to talk about me with because I hate them all.
Yeah. So well, I mean,
It's like saying who's your favourite Death Eater. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
No.
Kim Kardashian in her
absolutely.
outfit. Yeah.
She did actually look like that.
Yeah, did you see that?
Oh,
Someone
no, I
photoshopped
didn't
her
see
in.
that,
Someone
no.
photoshopped her in with Dementors like attacking Hogwarts.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Because they've taken a picture of her when she's like leaning forward and like flowing behind, and it literally, I didn't see anything different with it, and then I was like, oh shit, that's her from the. But yeah, so I mean, look, with your view on politics, I think it's similar to me. I think they're a bunch of Twats, really. I don't see a lot of redeeming stuff about them, and maybe that's my bubble of liberal media. But also, we were talking about before coming on as well. How can you just be in charge one day in charge of transport, and then suddenly you're in charge of health? Like,
why is it that it's the most important jobs in the country, and yet they're bandied around as if you're just changing desks in the office? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely insane to me.
Yeah.
And my friend was saying yesterday. So I was working in my friend's pub. And a guy came in whose friend works with them all, civil service. And I said this exact point that we're talking about now. I said, how can these qualified jobs be changed around a lot? And he said, it's to keep them nervous. Genuinely, he was like, it's to basically say like your job can go at any time.
Wow.
So I was like,
but no one works well like that.
That's what I mean. I said, well, it's good to know that they're literally playing office politics with politics.
Yeah, with our lives. But that's what it is. I mean, that's what it's all about, retention of power. Yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day, so it's not really about how well you do.
Who's best for the job.
Yeah.
It's about keeping you on your toes.
Someone could be doing a good job, and the public doesn't think you're doing a good job you're at, and someone could be doing a shit job, like our current PM, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But is well liked by the public, so
absolutely.
they're absolutely fine. No one's going to have any problem.
And where's Matt Hancock? In Rome with his new bird.
With Tom.
Yeah.
He's there, and they're all shagging.
At a sex party.
At a sex party. Not the one I'm going to. I'm going to one indoors because I'm not an idiot.
You're going to a Labour one because you're working class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sex party because we're tired of getting fucked by the government. We're going to fuck ourselves. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and no one actually has sex or enjoys themselves.
No,
but,
exactly.
Yeah.
You just sit on the fence. Ouch.
yeah. I mean that is preposterous. But they've gone round again. I don't know. What can you do? I mean, the culture secretary is coming for some stick because she's got some dodgy tweets from a few years ago. And look, I'm all for people making mistakes. I'll just say one, and I don't have it to hand, but this is what I believe it is. She's tweeted in 2012. She tweeted at the Hignify after party. Reginald D. Hunter is here talking to my daughter. Oh no! # get me my shotgun.
What?
Yeah, I think it was sort of to be done quite facetiously. Of like, obviously this is 9 years ago, as in like, protecting her daughter. But it just obviously comes.
But that's
around.
kind of. I mean, I think someone's got a secret crush on Reginald D. Hunter.
I mean, maybe.
That tweet.
Yeah.
So is she saying like he's hitting on her, or?
Yeah, I think it's basically saying he's hitting on her, and then also like get away from my daughter. I don't know if it's got racial connotations. Feels like it, but.
It feels like, do you know what? Whenever I think about this, and I think, don't jump to conclusions. That a Tory is racist, but shock. No, but I think picture it as if it was a white guy, and I'm not saying that she would have said the same intonation, but I bet you any money the wording wouldn't have been shotgun.
Yeah,
and then you think,
yeah.
There is a bit.
She didn't say, get me my butter knife so I can serve him some lovely cake. Thank you so much for talking to my daughter. And then in sort of, I mean, we're racing through quite a few things because there's lots happened this week. But in sort of really random news, Nicki Minaj.
Oh my God.
Incredible. She's been weighing in on British politics.
Quite literally.
Yeah. And replying to people who reply to her. I'll read out the tweet that basically has blown up this year. This year, sorry, this
is my
week.
favourite thing.
Nicki Minaj. This is from the official Nicki Minaj Twitter account. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine cause his friend got it and became impotent. Okay.
Right.
His testicles became swollen.
Yeah.
His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision. Comma, not bullied. So...
All I can think is her song. I keep singing with those big ass balls instead of wet ass pussy.
But that's not her song though. That's not her.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh yeah, shit. I think it's just because I thought of that phrase.
Same genre, same sort of genre.
And you're a big racist.
And now I'm a big racist.
And Alex is cancelled. I was just thinking that that song she does, Never Too Much. Do you know the one? I just don't wanna stop. That's her, innit? That's no. White Christmas. Is that her? But anyway, she's been.
Sorry, Nikki.
She's been also just replying to. lots of tweets.
What I love is that apparently Chris Whitty had to address the fact that this was false.
Yeah, and did you see Daily Mail? No, was it? Daily Mail did a sort of beef chart between Chris Whitty and Nicki Minaj, where it was like Chris Whitty followers 360k,
God.
and Nicki Minaj followers like 2 million. And it's like special interest and stuff.
What?
It was horrendous.
Imagine studying journalism for 3 years and you're like, you're doing the beef chart today, which by the way sounds like a euphemism for penis.
The beef chart is one of the rooms in the sex party.
Touch my beef chart.
Yeah. So someone tweeted her back saying the United Nations needs to invite you to speak at the General Assembly immediately.
Sure.
She quote tweeted that with, the White House has invited me and I think it's a step in the right direction. Yes, I'm going. I'll be dressed in all pink like Legally Blonde so they know I mean business. I'll ask questions on behalf of the people who have been made fun of for simply being human.
With big old balls.
Hashtag Ballgate Day 3.
Oh my God. Do you right? This is it. I know I'm quite cynical with men, but 100% what's happened is her cousin in Trinidad has got an STI, tried to palm it off to his fiance by saying, "Oh, actually, it was the vaccine that made my balls swell up." And men are pigs.
Yeah.
That is what I'm trying to say.
Piers Morgan weighed in, as he always does. Professor Whitty beefing with the ghastly Nicki Minaj, one of the rudest little madams I've ever met, which is an awful sentence to say. It's not the breaking news that I expect today, but it's most welcome. She's peddling lies that will cost lives. Nicki Minaj comes back. Sir, I've never met you.
Oh, I mean, that is nice.
So good. And also so common with Piers. Piers thinks he's met Piers thinks he's got a close relationship with every famous black woman.
Yeah.
So does Alex, though. So.
Yeah, too. Yeah. She was like, and because he was criticising her earlier this year, wasn't he, as well? So he's clearly enamored with her. This is like us talking about...
She won the US Open like 8 times.
Yeah, we literally had this. We literally had this with Rashford and Atoje last week. So I've never met you. I know we all look alike. Rudest little madam. I like it. Has a special ring to it. Thanks, Pierce. And she spelt the name wrong there, I assume on purpose.
An extra neg.
Love the accent. I'd love to come and chat. Scones, tea, cloud nose and big red shoes for you. Let me know, babe.
I absolutely love that. But you know that Piers Morgan is just getting an extra dose of the vaccines that his balls swell up to normal size. By the way, his wife follows me on Instagram ever since I did a sketch about her pretending to be her.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Very funny.
And she reposted it and DM'd me. And I think she was trying to prove that she was his wife. And I was like, I know you're his wife. We all know you're the weirdest woman in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't follow her back.
Oh,
so when I
nice
post this
family.
clip, Celia, hello.
Laura, I actually don't know how to say this. Kunsberg, okay. But she's a preeminent BBC journalist, BBC politics, and gets a lot of stick from
for being biased
to the government. She quote tweeted Nicki Minaj and saying 2021 everyone, and she quote tweeted her back saying yes 2021 when jackasses hang on to my every tweet but can't decipher between sarcasm and humour and can't read. Go away, Dumbo.
Oh my God, I love this. I love when celebrities start replying because it's just an unending well of
We've got
joy.
this. As I'm getting deeper into this, so she's posted loads of British flags and said, "Send this to the Prime Minister and let him." This is a day ago, and let him know they lied on me. I forgive him, no one else, only him. And this is what we have to play.
Oh, the audio, it's beautiful.
Prime Minister Boris, it's Nicki Minaj. I was just calling to tell you that I thought you were so amazing on the news this morning, and I'm actually British. I was born
Nicki, this
there.
is real Nicki Minaj.
I went to university there. I went to Oxford. I went to school with Margaret Thatcher. And she told so many nice things about you.
Well, that's a lie.
I'd love to send you my portfolio of my work, since you don't know much about me. I'm a big star in the United States.
I mean, yeah.
That is just...
She's properly got involved in British politics this week.
The world has gone crazy.
Anyway, and that is the new education minister, everyone.
Yeah.
So
Nicki Minaj.
Well done, yeah. But I mean, I think that is basically the news. I mean, it is an absolute jam-packed.
That's the news. Giant balls, tax the rich.
Giant balls. I mean, so look, well, I didn't actually ask you. What is your opinion on this whole? So STI covering, yes. Anti-vaxxing. What's your view on these peeps?
They are annoying, I think.
Whoa. Let's not have that coarse language here, please.
I feel like every single person I know that's an anti-vaxxer and says they won't put that in their body does acid. So far, it's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
I don't know one person. Like, I know
And,
some people that do acid and
long do you
take
date
the
him for?
vaccine. 3 months, really enough. No, I do feel a bit like, why not get it? Why, because the only thing is, variants are going to continue on because they're not vaccinated. But at the same time, do what you want. You might die.
Do what you want, you might die. That's
you tomorrow at the sex party.
that's going to be my philosophy. I'm going to whisper that 3 times to myself and then walk in my pants. So that'll be good.
No, I do think it should be a choice, obviously, but I do really struggle with people's reasoning.
Yeah, we are pro-vaccine podcast, guys. We encourage you to get your vaccine unless you've got very specific reasons. But
Acid.
yeah, like you like acid, or So if you're dropping LSD and walk into the hospital, it ain't gonna happen. I will say we're about to end the news there, but I do want to shout out this last bit, which I'm disgraced I almost forgot. But one of my favourite comedians at the moment, or was Norm Macdonald, has passed away. And people listening to this, you might not know who he is. He's not the hugest in the UK. I know we have some listeners in America. But he was an American stand-up who got big in the 90s, being on SNL, doing the weekly news update, and has since gone on to continue perform for maybe what would have been like 30 years or so.
Yeah.
Netflix special, his own podcast, which was hugely popular and basically was well known amongst comedians for having huge sort of comedy integrity, for being genuinely hilarious. Actually got fired from SNL because he refused to stop making jokes about O.J. Simpson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because he just kept saying how guilty he was.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, he was.
yeah, and
he literally settled out of court.
there's a wonderful clip of him. I forgot what he was hosting, but he's hosting a sports awards event. Loads of NFL stars there, and he just said, "Hey, blah blah, here everybody." I don't know the guy's name, and
Yeah.
it's like he talks about how impressive his season was, and he won. He's the youngest person to win this particular, or no,
Yeah.
he was a particular position that won an award that
Yeah.
that position doesn't. And he's like, "No one can take that away from you, unless of course you kill your wife and a waiter," and then just moves on. And then the NFL people are like, "You can't say this," but. Anyway,
Josh Weller, also a comedian, allegedly, posted loads of clips of Norm Macdonald's jokes about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Just about the thing of the spread of him with his kid in, US Weekly or whatever. And it just said, Jackson has promised that it'll be the sexiest shoot the magazine has ever seen.
And there's a great one in that, which is one of my fave Michael Jackson jokes I've ever heard. Look, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, I'm sorry, but this you got to laugh about anything, in my opinion. And this is, I've forgotten her name, but he breaks up, him and his wife get divorced, and or the relationship's on the rocks. And it's like, in showbiz news, Michael Jackson and blah, 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 relationship seems to be ending. It's just a shame that she's more of a stay-at-home gal and he's more of a homosexual pedophile.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It was Lisa Marie Presley.
Lisa Marie Presley, that's the one. But it's genuinely, it's a very sad news. And thank you personally for me, for inspiring me. You've given me lots of laughs over the years. I'd recommend watching him. Just go down a YouTube hole with his stuff.
The only silver lining when something like this happens is that everybody posts that person's sort of best bits and you end up enjoying all their hits, essentially.
That's what I did. I got back from Vauxhall, and I was doing Vauxhall on Tuesday, and I was sad. And so my mum had, I've been at my mum, she gave me a big bag of Doritos and some sour cream.
Oh.
And I was just eating those at like midnight, watching all these clips.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very sad news. But thank you very much, Norm, for all the laughs that you've given us. So appreciate that. Right. Now, we have a question for you.
Yes.
Alex Haddow. Not a normal part of the sections we have because no one has questions for Tom. We'll ask him. It's just women being like, I'm going on holiday. How can I get legs as thin as yours? But we have a question for you, so I will make sure I read this out correctly. But it is about nicknames. So the question is, what is the best nickname you've ever come up with for someone? So not one you've got yourself, but one you've come up with for someone else.
This is difficult because I love nicknames. I love the fact that if someone's dating someone new, they're often known as a nickname at the start. 'cause they'll have done something or their name or
Oh, right, yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Or like even if
someone's
it's just
the
like
dumplings or
Ali
something like-
Hinge or something like that. You know, like you'll say like my friend dated someone we called Sam Bumble for so long. Like we were just like, oh, Sam Bumble's coming.
That name really rings off, sort of flows off the tongue.
Yeah,
That's
Sam Bumble.
lovely. Sam Bumble.
And I love these. And I always make my friends say, like, how many nicknames have we got for people? And they're like, Alex, get a life. But not the main one that I'm going to say. One of them was a guy.
Oh, yeah, by all means, don't give us the good stuff,
No,
Alex.
sorry.
Cheers.
I'm saying in terms of the dating ones.
Okay.
My friend dated this guy called Ian, but he spelt it Iain. So he was known as Two Eyes for their entire relationship.
Two eyes.
I
like that. To differentiate him from other people.
Yeah.
Two eyes.
That's what
Always
I mean.
got two
And then
eyes.
people were always like, why have you dated someone with one eye? But no, my favourite.
Fucking weirdo. Two eyes. You know what I mean? That's like, that's like a weird, like, that's a insult at the Paralympics that they give to people. Oh, shut up, two eyes, you fucking loser.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's yours. That's second place.
That's it,
and
But
number one.
one of my favourites was a guy that went to uni with my friend. And in fact, this weekend I saw the friend and he was always in denial. And he was a very sort of nerdy, straight guy. And he worked with this guy called Tom. And I was like, oh, Tom. He said, oh, Tom's going on a date tonight. And I went, oh, right, who's the guy? And he went, the guy? He's not gay. And I was like, Tom's gay, right? And anyway, it turned out that Tom at this point wasn't out of the closet.
Right.
But he was going on a date with a woman. So he became gay Tom who isn't gay. So all the way through university, we were like, how's gay Tom who isn't gay?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's since come out of the closet and is now very happy with a lovely man. And so his nickname is now Gay Tom who isn't gay, who is now gay.
Yes. That's so good. I can imagine you there, like his wedding, giving a speech, being like, I first met gay Tom who isn't gay, who is now gay, when he was just known as gay Tom who isn't gay.
I've got so many to choose from there, but yeah. I once dated a guy called Crazy Jamie. Imagine being known
That sounds like your type.
to a whole group of people, but like, Christian name, Crazy.
Crazy, yeah. Just craze for
And
short.
it's just, I think the beautiful part about a nickname just sticking is when people say it and they're not batting an eyelid in conversation. So I'll be like, how's gay Tom who isn't gay? Or I'll be like, oh, God, do you remember Crazy Jamie?
Yeah. And
It's
everyone's
not
like,
the
yeah,
name.
yeah.
It's just like, God, yeah, that guy was crazy, man.
No, fair. The one name that stuck with one of my close friends is her name's Sophia, and her room was so messy at uni. A friend of mine called her the Gruffalo because she sort of lived amongst all this shrubbery, and like it was like you were hidden in it. And so then she became Gruffy and then Gruff.
Yeah.
So just like, Gruffy was quite a nice name, I think. Then it became Gruff and got worse again. It was like it was like, all right, Gruff. But that was one. I love it. I do love it when nicknames stick around for a long time. So that is lovely.
Yeah.
Now we go on to our regular feature. Now our regular feature is normally called Agony Uncle, but not in a weird way.
Yeah.
But we actually have Agony on today as well. So thank you for sending this in. One, as said, Ali Woods won't tell us if he's single, so that
Is he or isn't he?
Well, I'm also going to potentially going to a sex party tomorrow, so although it could be done with
a lady.
with my wife,
Yeah. With your wife, Lucy.
with my wife Lucinil.
And our two children.
I'm always going on. I'm always banging science fiction. I'm always banging on about the wife Lucy Lily and our two children.
Oh, never forgive Orange if they've wiped the twins.
Yeah, fucking love. I'm always going on about twins.
Just spat on the mic then.
You can't. No, it's all right. I do it every week. But here is one. Okay, so I'll read it out as it's written.
Yeah.
And then I'll sort of reframe it to an actual sort of problem.
Okay.
I may hire someone to smash my flat's single-pane windows so my landlord replaces them with double glazing. I live on a high street above a Franco Manca, and oh my fucking God, it's noisy. So these are two parts, right?
Okay,
So
I like this.
how do you deal with a bad flat, basically, is my point, or a bad
Sleep with
landlord?
everybody in it.
Well, okay, that's Agony on. Thank you very much. Carry on. So is that yours? If you're in a bad flat, or
No, okay.
Okay, so if you've got a bad living situation, maybe the flat it needs repairs, the landlord ain't doing it, sort of stuff. How do you deal with that? And then also the other part is, if you're in a place where you're trying to get sleep but it's super noisy, what's your plan? for that sort of stuff?
In terms of the landlord stuff, I go militant because, like all normal people, I think landlords are lizards and should all be publicly
They live at the zoo.
shot. But I will fully bring out every part of legislation and make their lives a living hell until they do it. If it's a reasonable request, like I kind of feel like that is. In terms of sleeping, I'm quite weird. I could sleep. I quite like sleeping with like noise. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird. Like if I was on
The
a high
noise
street,
of someone saying,
like,
Alex, you can't sleep here. You can't. No, we said this was going to be casual, didn't we? You've got to go home. And then you're nom, 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 nom.
I have a wife now.
Exactly, yeah. I've got the 2 kids next door.
Yes, it was fun. It was fun. Get out.
Fucking get out of here. Okay.
I quite like. I've lived above a few high streets, and I quite like the buzz. It makes me feel less alone.
Yeah, makes me feel like I respond to them. Someone's going, Phil, fucking hell, and you're like, what is that, my love? What is that, my darling? Are they
Phil.
talking to me?
Kiss my pillow and call it Phil.
Yeah. Okay, so going back on these two, so legislature
Yes.
in the landlord.
Mate,
How do you look that up? How do you find? Do you ask lawyer mates? Do you have a
tweet it?
tweet it?
Yeah,
Well, that's okay if you've got like
no, but
25,000 followers.
All I'm saying
or
is,
whatever you've got.
ask your mates, ask anybody you know who is a landlord, ask your landlord as well. Firstly, be nice about it. Go in and be like, hey, look, this is really shitty for me. I'm sure you can appreciate it. Can you imagine if you were in this situation? Also, stalk the landlord online. See what they're into. Their likes, their dislikes, their life
You can
story.
leverage against them.
Yeah, and then use
How
that.
many kids they got? Could you take one?
Agreed. Use that to kind of become their friend before you have to get violent.
Crisscross.
Yeah.
Okay. So that
Manipulate them.
Just umbrellaing that.
Manipulate them like they've manipulated our society.
Right. Okay. So just umbrellaing that. The if you've got a dodgy landlord not doing something for you and you want to do it,
Yeah.
Befriend them first, then manipulate them with law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
And then maybe date a member of their family, infiltrate their life so that in fact they can't get away from you, but at the same time you're really trying to sort of get that thing that you're owed.
Okay.
And then get your rent down.
Cool.
And then
don't
kill
them.
them.
And then kill them.
Yeah.
Just kidnap their child.
Yeah.
And then the second point, so you don't mind a noisy high street. What about if a noise is coming from one of your housemates, for instance, they're playing music till 4 a.m.?
Oh, that is
sort
annoying.
of
That is
stuff.
horrific. That is the worst.
What would you do in that situation? What's your advice for people in that situation? Talk to them, ignore it, move out?
I am, despite everything I've just said, quite non-confrontational as a person.
Can't get the legislature out on that one.
I have had a situation like that before, and it was horrific. But you have to just speak to them, I think. Or, if that doesn't
They were
work,
in what they called a happy relationship. Anyway, get this right.
Yeah.
They'd come
They
round.
were having
They'd have sex under God's roof. And then they would be up talking and chatting. And I'm like,
I'm
you are
trying to
grim."
finish here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Can we bring the sex back?
Can we bring the sex back? Because, I mean, that was shit enough. You know what I mean? Felt slow, if anything. God.
I actually...
I'm trying to have a sex party in my room. Can't hear nothing.
sex party for what?
Sex party, yeah, exactly. That's what I call masturbating.
Expect stunning songs on my phone.
Yeah. Expect a stunning feel of regret immediately afterwards.
Sneaky spaces. It's just me having a wank in my own wardrobe.
Yeah. Okay, so what?
Yeah.
So non-confrontational. So you would.
But I would say if that doesn't work, if speaking to them doesn't work, out crazy them.
Right.
Start playing your music louder.
Yeah.
Start being crazy. Have everybody over when you know they've got an early day at work.
Yeah. Okay. This
Fight
sounds
fire
healthy.
with
This
fire.
sounds healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fight fire with fire.
Or like pour some water on their speaker or something. Like go dirty.
yeah.
Yeah. If
What did you do in the situation you had?
I moved her out.
Fair.
I was just like, you cannot live here anymore.
Yeah.
You
fair.
are.
What was her thing?
nightmare.
She would just play music like.
Play music, have people over. She was a young person, Ali.
Oh. But when Alex says that young person, she means under 40. She was only just engaged. It's like, God, she's crazy. Fucking hell.
Slow down, love.
Exactly. I'm having 2 or 3 sex parties in here per evening. Well, thank you very much for your advice for the listeners. That is
Yeah,
wonderful, Alex Haddow. So if you want to tweet her with any more
Please do.
legislative
I don't know where I'm
problems,
looking. Please
yeah,
do.
please do. Then you're more than welcome. And that moves us on swiftly to our final section, which is fail mail, which you don't have. I've got all the info on this
Okay.
one. But it is our regular section where we ask the listeners to send in their fails on a particular topic. So we have a couple here. But the fail this week was, let me just get this right. what's the worst trouble you've been in with your parents? That it's a hard thing to phrase. It feels like, were you on some crazy escapade with your parents? But no, it's actually like
Fields of wheat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's the worst trouble that your parents have been
good.
angry at you? So maybe you think about your own.
Yeah.
But also react
it.
to these ones. Thank you very much for sending this in, everyone. Bit long, so couldn't write it on the message. Here we go. When I was 17, 18 and just got my driving license, I drove all the way from east of Saudi Arabia to the west, 12 hours.
What?
Yeah, this is our listenership. That's why we're so anti-women.
Yeah, fair.
We're going to tone down your voice.
Yeah.
Alexandra Haddow, businessman. My parents thought I was in a college campus and they thought my car was in mechanic. After a week, my mum found out. She was cool, but she asked me not to tell my dad or I'll lose my car for good. She just slapped my head. My dad doesn't know till now and I'm 27. So that's...
Why are we driving across Saudi Arabia?
I don't know why you'd want to do that either. I mean, for 12-hour trip, that has got to be...
That's not actually that bad trouble. Like, don't tell your dad.
Yeah, I think that's
Sounds like your mum respects
sort of fine, yeah. And let me get this... I'll get this right because it's sort of been written in. One day, I was I think I was 15 and this is what the sentence says. One day, 15 to me came back... Okay. One day, 15-year-old me came back from school totally wasted and smelling of weed. Tried to act sober, but walked straight into my mother's wardrobe instead of her bedroom.
That's very good.
It is pretty good. And now we have some of the short ones. Thank you very much for those who messaged in there. So let's get through. This is quite hardcore. I was part of the riots against the government back in Venezuela. My mum found out when things got really violent and she hid my keys and didn't talk to me for a month. Fair fucks to you.
Had his own isolation or hers.
This is Venezuela. We're big in Venezuela, Saudi Arabia. These are our types.
The international listeners.
Crashed my brand new Mustang 3 days into owning it. Mum was not pleased. Also, Mustang.
How old is your listenership?
Well, you'd still consider them young, so they're pretty old.
You got me on for the OAPs.
Yeah.
The saga market.
Have you ever had this? Once I invited my boyfriend at the time to come over when my parents weren't home. Classic. Yeah. I was a teenager and they were very strict about being alone, right? No boyfriends. He came at the exact same time my mom was leaving.
Oh, came as in he arrived.
Yeah. It's just as the keys were in the door. This is the best orgasm I've ever had in my life.
Oh, that's I've been I never got caught with that, but I was allowed to have boys in my room.
They won't encourage you or anything. Alex, please. We'd love you to find someone.
Please, could you just stop doing it on the street?
Hanging around there, cutting out pictures of the Libertines and Razorlight. Is that all right? The Cribs. Can you stop? Stop having sex parties? The posters of the Cribs.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't changed.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you now. That's advice now. Yeah. When I was about 8, I downloaded a new picture with my parents' laptop, and I still don't know why I did it.
A nude picture? Oh, that's like my housemate and lovely comedian Richard Spalding.
What did he do? I can't imagine.
His first Google was naked boobs.
Naked. Hey, I said you got to stop that coarse stuff. Naked boobs.
And he also printed off a picture of Britney Spears to wank to. And he said that printing, when she had no knickers on. Sorry, Rich, I've just...
Here we go. What's this?
And
it's coming out like...
the old printer's like... And he was like, oh my God, hurry up.
Yeah, because if someone comes in, what, you're printing their homework?
Oh, yeah. Still life. Drawing.
Someone just said me coming out. So I hope you're okay.
Oh.
Yeah. As a teen, my sister fed our dog weed.
It's amazing.
Spent a fortune at the vet's only to find out he was off his tits. At 15, I bunked off school with a friend and smoked some fags. My mum caught us. These are classic stories.
Yeah.
Man. These are...
Gold.
My Indian parents didn't take it well when I told them I'm moving to the UK at 21 just months before moving. But you're here now.
Ah, yeah.
So you're fine.
Nice.
There we go.
I bet they love it.
Yeah, and actually, in a rare change of events, we're going to close with the people who have messaged into our ADIF official account. This is, okay, so I like the phrasing of this. Got beats for not doing homework or housework correctly.
Oh.
Okay, classic.
Yeah.
This is the final one. At primary school, got suspended for kicking someone in the crotch. She needed to go to hospital.
Ooh.
Vaginal kick. Hospitalised.
Ow.
Yeah, that's got to be painful.
Yeah.
It's a sensitive area. I mean, I've been kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
But hospitalised through... Yeah.
Vaginal.
Vaginal kicking. Yeah, not ideal. Which I can see why you'd get into trouble with your parents for that. Thank you everyone for messaging in. Have you been in trouble with your parents much in your early years?
Was fairly good, but I did once throw a house party and pretend that I was staying at my nan's.
Oh.
And it went off.
Was it big? Was it one of those big ones?
Yeah.
Like everyone
A
coming
door got
around,
ripped
bringing
from
their
its
mates.
hinges.
Fucking hell.
This guy I was seeing at the time put it back on.
Oh, you do love a tradesman.
I do love a tradesman. Daz, if you're listening, hello. Yeah.
But what did your parents? So how? Sorry,
They
their
knew.
parents were away, were they?
They were away.
They were
in
visiting your
Scotland,
nan.
and I was 17, so I was
Yeah,
like,
classic. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going on a family holiday because I'm too fucking cool.
Yeah, and to be fair, you were actually.
I was actually.
What happened?
And anyway, they were like, well, we're not going to trust you to stay alone like some of my friends were allowed to.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, how am I going to have the party? So weeks before, I went and got a key cut sneakily.
Whoa.
And then I said I was staying at my nan's, and then I was staying at my nan's, and then one night I said to my nan that I was staying at my friend Catherine's house.
Oh, you played the game.
And we got some booze in, and everyone came around to mine, and then I tidied up and everything, and then my parents came home, and I honestly was like I told them that I got a key off my nan, and I was at ours. And I was even having like a fake little snooze on the sofa to be like, oh, I'm just so calm. And they both walked in and went, you've had a party.
Wow, yeah.
Because I guess I won't go through the details, but it's just like 17-year-olds trying to clear up a house. Like,
Yeah, of course.
There was just little signs.
And also
Anyway.
like the smell of like booze
Exactly.
and bags and all that sort
Vomit.
of stuff. Yeah, vomit. Yeah, fair. That's
And,
rock and roll.
Yeah, and then my mum like told me off and stuff, and so did my dad. And then my mum went out of the room, and my dad went, I sort of respect you a bit for that.
Yeah.
He was like, you did a lot of planning.
That's good. Yeah.
With
But
that.
more application than I've seen from anything else. That's fair. I mean, the biggest trouble I've ever got into, I'm pretty
Yeah, I was
straight-laced
really.
as well.
Yeah.
But was actually when I told my mum after uni, I was like, I just want to work part-time and try and do comedy. And she couldn't hack it. She was like, no fucking way.
What?
Yeah. She said to me, this was a big fallout we had when I was 21. And I wasn't doing gigs at that point. I was like, I really want to give comedy a go because I'd done a couple stand-up stuff at uni. And I thought, I think this is sort of what I want to do. And I'll just get a restaurant job or waiter job or whatever and just do gigs and live at home. But then she was like, if you wanted to be a comedian, you would have done it by now. You want to do comedy because you like it? I like eating biscuits and watching Coronation Street. That's not a job. You need to go out and get a graduate level job.
That accent
You can't
so
be a
good.
student for all your life. And that was, and so so I had a big falling out. But my dad was cool with it. My dad was like, well, yeah,
But-
as long as you're working, then fine.
Yeah, but now she's fine with it because you're.
She doesn't know I do comedy. She's all okay with it. We had another
Did you
falling
just
out.
invite her to New Comedian of the Year to be like, oh, this is awkward?
That was the first time I've seen my parents genuinely proud of me. I think was that one.
Thank you for listening.
And on that sad note, goodbye. No, but like, as in like properly, like, oh, fair play. Like I didn't know you could do, not just like, oh, well done, you passed some exams or
Yeah.
whatever. Just
Aw.
like, genuine, because they sort of expected all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Then we had another falling out when I went down 4-day weeks. When she was like,
Really?
And then she sort of said, "You've tried with comedy. You've given it a go. You can't go down to 4-day weeks. You should be earning more money." And then we had another falling out, and I was like, "But this is what I want to do." But
Now you're
now
on 3-day week, so she cut you out the will. Or
she
what?
hates that as well. But at least she's not at this point. She's like, "Well, you're gonna do what you're gonna do."
Yeah.
She's like, as long as you're fine. That's the thing with her. She just wants me to be safe, like, and secure.
Yeah, parents. I've been freelance for the majority of 12 years, and my dad still every week is like, "What do you mean you're not working today?"
yeah. But yeah, and I completely understand that. That's what my mum said to me.
Yeah.
It's a different area as well. I remember her shouting at me. She was like, "Nobody likes their job." Like that was the point for her. It was like
Yeah.
you do a job to get money.
Yeah, they can't relax
No.
unless you're chained to an insurance broker's desk for 50 years.
Yeah, but that's
Have an affair and develop a drink problem like everybody else.
Yeah. And anyway, you
Why
can
do you
see
have to be
Alex Haddow's show. It's coming up to Edinburgh next year. And but look, I will say my parents are very supportive generally anyway. But and I'm thankful for that. Right. That has been an episode of All I Do Is Fail with the fantastic Alex Haddow.
Thank you for having me,
Co-hosting.
Ali Woods.
Thank you very much for coming. Honestly, so many people said no. We're just glad you said yes. What's going on in your life? What's happening? Where do people find you?
What is going
What's,
on? A lot of
Mondays
stuff.
at
Mondays at Vauxhall, of course. Thanks for telling me my own gig. I was like, oh, no. Yeah, Mondays at Vauxhall, every month at Dulwich Hamlet Comedy Club. Dulwich Hamlet football
By the way,
ground.
she's at these gigs. She's not just saying,
Yeah, I'll just go.
yeah, there's stuff going on. Tiger Tiger's open again if you want to go there. I think the football's
Wagamama's
on.
got a new deal on.
Yeah.
No, those are the regular ones I host. But I've got loads of fun ones, doing one at Mama Shelter next week. So good. And yeah, if anyone wants, just follow me, and I'm always posting about gigs.
Yeah.
At Alexandra Haddow on Instagram or at Miss A Haddow on Twitter.
Fabulous. And you can follow us at ADIVPod on all good social medias. Vittorio, where can people follow you?
At Vittorio Angeloni.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Vittorio, you sound so sexy on this mic.
Well, I have a deep voice and I'm hungover.
I know, but do you know, like, this is going to sound like an insult, but I don't mean it to. Like, when you can't see you, and it's just like the sexy voice coming out of nowhere.
Voiceover agents, please get in touch.
Yeah.
I'm available for all of your sexy 50 Shades
it's
of
making
Grey.
me
You got to
feel
drink
held.
every night, though, man. That's the other part of the contract. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's part.
I feel like, because I'm hungover as well, I feel like it's a little warm Northern Irish hug.
Maybe. Okay. And thanks so
Northern
much.
Irish hug is actually a type of bomb.
Hit by a so-called Northern Irish hug. Yeah, step up from a Glasgow kiss, like just angry
Yeah, exactly.
regional. Thing. Well, yeah, you can see Vittorio. You can follow him on social media at Vittorio Angeloni. And of course, you can follow me at Hollywood's Gigs and follow the pod at ADIVPod. As I said, Patreon listeners, if you want an extra episode every week, patreon.com/ADIVPod. Just for $5 a month, you can get an extra episode every week. Thank you very much for those who donate, and I hope you enjoy the Patreon episodes. As it is, this is us signing off. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you to Miss A Haddow, Alexandra Haddow.
Thanks so much for having me. This
No
has been
worries.
great.
Thank you to Vittorio Angeloni producing the whole thing. I'm in Hollywood. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.